Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Falai. Never mind that sort of reprise. But good morning to you. Thank you for joining us. My guest this morning in studio is Mr. Bola Olajuwon. Bola is assistant editor at the Nation newspaper.
Thank you, sir.
I'd like to have you, Bola.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome. And today we'll be staying in the polity. We'll be looking at politics. The APC National Convention, that's on Saturday. It must not fail. So I think we've gone past it must not fail. The president has impressed that Komi, it must not, budge from the set date. And so here we are. It is, we will be, the convention will be on Saturday. And then after, we'll be looking into the Electoral Act. As you know, the act has been passed by the president, but then the Attorney General and others went to court, and they are now saying that you should remove a certain section. So we'll be looking at that. What is the National Assembly response? They have shifted the battle to the appeal court. We'll come to that. Bola, we have let's look at the convention first. It's all set. Everything is set. The president had a meeting with 15 governors or something like that?
16 governors.
16 governors. He had a meeting with them, and then later on we have a statement now that the APC has agreed on a consensus list.
Okay.
Now, that's not quite the same as a consensus candidate, is it? Or is it one and the same?
The same. The same. Because some people even they are saying unity list.
Unity list. That is the correct word.
Okay.
Unity list.
Yes. What is unity about the list is what is left for us to see on the day of the convention.
Because if there's a unity list, yet the president has said he prefers a particular person for the for the chairmanship of the party.
Yes.
I don't quite understand it, but generally speaking, we have a consensus, right?
Yes, there's a consensus list. But in any case, the party also said those people that do not want to go along with the party, they can go and contest. They can contest.
So this is a bit confusing, isn't it?
It is okay.
Is it consensus or not? Now you're saying that, well, you're allowed to have a differing opinion, but then you go outside and you test the waters, you try your luck.
What really happened is this. The party is only trying to be democratic by half. By half in the sense that, okay, fine. Oh, these are the people we thought should contest so that there won't be crisis or there won't be much problem on the day of the convention. Okay, fine. Now, if you are now saying you don't want to agree with us, so that there won't be any cases that will result in suits.
The usual charge that we are being dictated to, there is no democracy in the party.
In the party. As a result of that, fine, you can contest. And in any case, aside from the fact that the party is talking about the issue of consensus, okay, fine, you've paid 20,000 to procure the form. We are ready to give you back your money. But if you now feel, you don't want to collect the money, why not? You can go and test the water.
Okay, we actually have a member of the Media and Publicity Committee, the APC National Convention Committee, Ibim Sementari, a former commissioner in Rivers State. Good morning to you, madam.
Good morning, Yori.
Very well. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us. Okay, there you are. Don't know how you do it. Keep looking younger and younger. But that's aside. That's aside. Now, you were part. I'm guessing that you were also part of the whole proceedings yesterday, the meeting at the presidential villa, and we've just been trying to understand the unity list. Okay. Are you having a difficulty?
It doesn't appear like I heard all of it.
Okay.
She didn't hear.
She didn't hear all of it.
You talked about the unity list. Am I correct?
Yes, I'm talking about the unity list that has been come up with even as the president has indeed said that his preference for the job of chairmanship of the party, will be the National State, is the National State government. But there is a unity list. So I wonder a few words on the unity list. What exactly is the unity list as opposed to we have a consensus? This is the person that we will be going with.
Well, Yori, as part of the democratic process, a lot of horse trading goes on. So I think really what's going on here, that various people are trying to take a decision and they're saying, listen, I'll give this, I'll take this. So basically, whether it is consensus building, whether you call it a unity list, the important thing is that a democratic process is going on. Now, there are those who would want to go for election. There are those who are willing to trade something for the other. The important thing is that the APC is going through a democratic process and that everyone is involved in participation. So there is no one person who is excluded and there's no one person who is left out. Everyone is part of this game and everyone has something to give or to take. So I think at the end of the day, really what is happening is that the APC is ensuring that it explores the entire spectrum of the democratic space in deciding who will lead it post 26th of March.
Okay, but now that we get that a bit, we have a bit more clarity on that, but technically, it's probably not possible, I imagine, for anybody but Senator Abdullahi Adamu to emerge. Or is there, theoretically, now that it's been set up like this, and the efforts are appearing or being democratic, is it still feasible that anybody else could possibly emerge?
Indeed, Yori. Anybody could emerge. I mean, when it comes to politics, you never say never. 1 hour is a long time in politics. So it really is up to each of the contestants, each of those who is gunning for office, to ensure that they get everyone on their side. The APC is very democratic in its processes. The APC would not exclude any of its members. All of its members are equally, able to ascend to any of those positions. And truth be told, the 5 contestants for chairmanship are all of them extremely efficient and extremely capable gentlemen. So the party will definitely be in good hands, regardless of who comes out as chairman.
Of course we would. We covered this on Flagship News yesterday. We'll maybe you saw it, maybe you didn't, but we'll just, for the benefit of our viewers that didn't see it, let's take that package now that really gives a bird's eye view of the whole scenario.
The All Progressive Congress, APC, has been caught in a web of leadership crisis in recent weeks. Selecting or electing members of the National Working Committee, NWC, of the party is proving to be a Herculean task for the APC. Leaders and governors in the party have been in and out of several meetings but are yet to agree on the choice of members to fill various positions in the committee. The party recently zoned its national chairmanship position to the North Central ahead of its March 26th national convention. 7 members have so far indicated interest to lead the party, including aspirants outside the agreed zone. This includes the former governor of Zamfara State, Abdulaziz Yari, who has picked his nomination form.
The administration of Mr. President.
Governors of the All Progressive Congress, APC, are pushing for a consensus candidate ahead of the convention on Saturday, while other stakeholders are bent on contesting for the position. The party sold its nomination form for chairmanship aspirant for 20 million naira, while those contesting for the deputy chairmanship position paid 10 million naira, and those for other party positions got the forms for 5 million naira. Before now, the party has succeeded in choosing consensus candidates as its national chairman and are still pushing for the same mode. Other positions are also up for serious contest because it has been difficult to reach a consensus and form a unity list. Despite the grey areas and the controversies, the party is determined to go ahead with its national convention slated for this Saturday after 4 botched attempts. The party is also expected to hold another convention to choose its flag bearer for the 2023 presidential election. Ayodele Ozuwakun, TVC News, Lagos.
Okay, so Ibim, continuing on the theme you were speaking about earlier, which is the party doing everything it can to be democratic in this and, lower a rancor and all of that. There's even the detail that, look, those that pay for the form and lose out will actually get a refund. That was sort of something of a gesture of good faith, perhaps.
Indeed, when you think about it, as a party, we're very committed to ensuring that every member feels comfortable with decisions that are taken. So what you're finding is saying, and that's why I talked about horse trading at the beginning, because you're going to say to some people, okay, here's the deal. If we end up having this consensus arrangement, then we should be able to say, okay, gentlemen, lady, whoever it is, to show good faith, to show that we're one body, to show that it's one family going forward, we should refund to you, because of this process. So it's, like I said again, it's really about a party that is at peace with itself, a party that is determined to ensure that every stakeholder in the party feels a sense of belonging. Every stakeholder in the party is convinced and is happy to be part of the process. And I think that that's really the best you can do in a democratic setup, because participation is key. Democracy, after all, is about the people. It's not about one person, it's not about 10 people, it's about a collective. And for us at the APC, that collective is really more important. The whole is more important than the part.
You did speak about intrigues, horse trading, the complications, and this is perfectly natural. We've been hearing.
I didn't speak about intrigues. I spoke about horse trading.
Well, okay. Horse trading. Okay, let me stay with horse trading. It'll work. I wanted to ask you what your concept was about opinion either within the party or indeed outside as to the crucial aspect beyond just running the party efficiently and effectively, which would be one of the jobs of the chairman. But there are those who feel that this also links on to the next level of activity, which would be selecting the presidential candidate. And there are probably those who are linking the two, that the chairmanship candidate or the chairman that we come up with, there is a way in which all of that will also affect who emerges possibly as the presidential candidate of the party. Is there anything or much to that?
Well, possibly, and maybe not. I think that what is important is to have the right leadership at the level of the party. Those who are going to lead the party must be people who are fair, who can ensure that everyone gets fair treatment. So I think we're focused on ensuring that we pick a leadership that would be inclusive, a leadership that would ensure that every member of the APC feels a sense of belonging, a leadership that is willing to take the APC to the next level, a leadership that is committed to progress, that is committed to efficiency, that is committed to winning elections. And I think that if that is the case, therefore, yes, the chairman who this convention picks would be critical to the next step, but critical in the sense of efficient party administration, critical in the sense of fairness, balance, equity. I think that is what we're looking at. And yes, if that's what you're talking about, absolutely.
Okay, all right. Now, before you came on, Ibim, we also had introduced my other guest in studio here, Bola Olajuwon, assistant editor at The Nation newspaper. And so I'll ask him now, you've just heard, what she says.
Yes.
That whole idea about it's crucial who becomes the president I beg your pardon, who becomes the chairman in relation to who emerge later on as viable candidates.
Yes. Very crucial. And she also spoke in respect of equity. But inclusiveness equity should be inclusiveness. We've been hearing of other positions, like the Deputy National Chairman North, Deputy National Chairman South, and we'll be hearing of Secretary of the party and others. You know, people clamoring or trying to contest for other posts. But we've not been hearing of women. Who is going to be the woman leader of the party? We've not had. We've not seen women. That should actually count too. Because basically the world now is about equity and inclusiveness. Inclusiveness in terms of economic power, inclusiveness in terms of political power and other organs. That is where the world is going now.
Especially when he said about inclusiveness in terms of economic power.
Yes.
It was he added other things, but I just picked out that economic power. That is also, Ibim, a crucial aspect in our concept of whoever wants to run. It's supposed to be a scary, humongous sum that is needed for these kind of endeavors, and that immediately would, you know, cut some people out. How importantly do you think the whole matter of inclusiveness has been considered in all of this? All kinds of inclusiveness.
Thank you, Yori, and I like the fact that you raised that. So let me first address Bola's very kind consideration of the women. And yes, it is important that we have more women showing up in party positions. Gladly, we have a woman who is contesting for a position that had always been exclusively the preserve of the men. So I'm glad to see a woman contesting in that position, and that's something that gladdens my heart. And I agree with you, we should have more women go into party positions. That's something that is definitely worth looking at and something we should continue to push for. And I'm glad I have my colleague Bola and yourself, of course, Yori, who would join us to push to have more women in decision making. But having said that, the matter of economic inclusiveness, indeed, politics is expensive, especially politics the way we play it in Nigeria. The presidential form of government has been always something that we've said is a little too expensive, quite frankly, especially for us in this country. So yes, there is the matter of the cost of running elections. There is the matter of money and elections. When you think of the fact that a political party, for instance, to hold its convention, has to have people come from all parts, 37 states, have delegates from all of that place. Even if you said you were going to have direct primaries, you're going to have to go through the process of having INEC watch it, of securing a venue, of printing of the posters, of having live coverage, of having the media cover it. When you think of the sheer enormity of the funds required, then you see that it means that members of the party do have to take a chunk of that cost, except you want to put your hands in the till. So indeed, we must review the issue of cost of elections. And I think that takes us back to the conversation of what form of government works for us as Nigerians. So yes, it is expensive, truth be told, and that's something that should be worrisome. But there again, it is what it is.
Now, we also read in the press that part of the efforts that you have been speaking about to be fair and democratic, for equity to hold sway, is that the president had a pre-meeting with all those who were contesting or interested in the office. But he impressed upon them, it is reported, his choice. Now, I wanted to ask you about that. I mean, how democratic is that? If one man, his choice is what it is hoped will sway everybody else, is that, you know, what do you think about that particular notion?
If I was present in that meeting, I would be able to respond to this better. And the reason I say that is that every time you hear oral history repeated, a lot of things fall through. So you're never sure exactly what happened. You're never sure the circumstances. You're never even sure what was said. Now, it is possible that Mr. President may have said, oh, you know, I would like a situation where all of you came together and agreed on one person. Perhaps that's what he said. I wasn't there.
Rancor.
You weren't there.
To avoid rancor.
If that's what he said, that would not possibly be something very bad.
Okay. Bola, what do you think about that particular question? Because even when, shall we say, the crisis, can we talk about the previous crisis, if it's open now? When the crisis was raging, party members had said that we're waiting for the president to tell us his decision and how to go. Now, in a democratic setting, waiting on the decision of one man, even as important and indispensable to the polity as the president is, does that break any does that break any conventions of democracy?
Okay, you see, Mr. Yori, in democracy, there will always be conspiracy. Conspiracy of a person, a group of people trying to come up to float idea of, you know, the kind of outlook they want for a party. Those people that should share the party, those people that should hold certain position. For the president of a nation, of a ruling party, I don't see anything so bad about it. You know, saying, oh, this is the kind of person I preferred should be the chairman of the party, in view of the fact that, okay, in the case of the former governor of Edo State, Oshiomhole, people said he was dictatorial and he was so ebullient, and as a result of that, he was dictating to, you know, other governors that he ought to have put into consideration, consulted when taking certain position, and he didn't do that. Okay, if the governor, if the president now felt that, oh, well, Abdullah Adamu is matured, and
somebody I can vouch for, whatever, from his experience.
From his experience, and why not?
Okay.
I don't see anything. And now, look at it. It's not that they close the ring. They didn't say other people that threw their hats into the rings should not contest. Okay, fine. If you don't agree with us, and you are not ready to collect your check of 20 million that you paid, why not? You can go and contest. You see, look, I love that idea. Knowing fully well that the party is contending with many suits. Okay, look at it. Almost 200, over 200 suits are already before courts, owing to, you know, leadership of the party and other intricacies happening in the party. As a result of that, I don't see anything so bad about it. For the, you know, the president or the governors, okay, to say, oh, these are our preferred candidates.
Okay.
And we believe they can serve the purpose of being, you know, elected or being picked as consensus candidate for the party. I don't see anything so bad about it.
Okay, so Ibim, you know, Bola is on the same page with you on that particular aspect. In fact, we read in the press, that you know, I have the Nation in front of me here now, the Nation this morning, and it is saying that it tried to get across to all of the aspirants after the meeting with the president, where the president had appealed to them to not resort to rancor and crisis, but none of them was willing to speak to the nation. So it probably, maybe they began to act on the president's communication that, look, nothing will be said. I don't know. Maybe if we don't say anything, then nothing can be confused. We can just go with what Mr. President has said and what else is out there in the press. So it does seem to me as if APC has cracked this particular nut.
I'm not sure that we're dealing with a crack, and I hope I heard you right. I think that what has happened is, you know, families have meetings, Yori. I'm not sure that after a family meeting, the family members necessarily need to divulge the conversations they had if they don't want to. It's internal party affairs. And I think that you would only have heard a lot of grumbling if there was anger. So clearly, it just reinforces the fact that the APC is forging ahead as one strong, united party. It is one strong, united party. Its members are together. It's a family. And we will have family conversations. And yes, like every other family, we have our squabbles from time to time. But we are one family. We are strong. We are united. And we're forging ahead.
And on that upbeat note, Ibim Semenitari, member of the Media and Publicity Committee, APC National Convention Committee, we thank you very much for sparing a few moments with us this morning.
Thank you very much, Yori. It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you, viewers.
Same. Thank you very much. Okay, what we'll do now, let's take a break. I imagine that there are calls that we won't be taking calls now, because let's go on a break and come back. Look at the other subject that we spoke about. I told you at the top of the program, the Electoral Act, the National Assembly shifting, quote unquote, the battle, if that is what we can call it, to the appeal court. That's when we come back. Stay with us, please.